Hey guys, I'm working on a remodel project and just finishing up on some of the last windows that I've got to trim out. And I thought I'd show you how I do these window jambs. So I've got these three little windows back here on this back porch. Kind of dark back here, but as you can see, I've got new windows installed and I just put some paneling up. This is just an unheated, unair conditioned porch. So just doing kind of some basic finish. But anyway, these windows obviously need to be trimmed out. They're all just kind of rough framing right now. So I'll show you the process that I go through. So basically, the first step is you want to check all your dimensions of your windows, and these are all uniform, so that works out pretty well. So I'm going to get my bottom pieces. I'm going to leave myself just a little bit extra room. I'm going to make those 23 3/4. You know, give yourself an extra 1/8 inch to 1/4 so you can kind of slide these boxes in here pretty easily. Get your vertical measurement as well. Your vertical measurement, make sure if you're using 3/4 inch material like I am, your vertical measurement you need to remove 1.5 inches because you'll have, you know, a layer on the bottom and a layer on the top, and then my two side jambs will go in between those. So get your dimensions there. Next step is I need to get the depth dimension, and a good way to do that is you want to come out as close as you can to the finished edge. So if you hold a straight edge on the finished edge like this, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Hold a straight edge up along the wall, and then you can get a measurement out. And I'm going to be roughly 4 1/4, it looks like. And you're not going to, windows aren't always going to be exactly the same, especially when you've got drywall. Whatever kind of wall covering you have, you're going to have some variations. So make sure you check your depth of all your windows and make sure that everything's going to work out correctly. So I'm going to take several measurements here, and I'm going to get to the proper depth. And then I'm just going to go, I already cut a couple pieces just to do some test fitting. And this is just pre-primed jamb material, works real nice, pine. So I'm just gonna assembly line cut all these, and then I'll show you how I assemble them. And when we're done, this is our end goal. So you can see everything comes out nice and clean. These are all new windows, and this was all jammed out as well. Nice clean look, trim looks good, and let me go ahead and show you how to make these work. So I've got my top and bottom rails and my side rails all cut to length and ripped to the proper width. Now it's time to go ahead and start building the actual extension jamb boxes. And there's a couple different ways that I like to do this. Actually, my favorite way to do this is with my pocket hole machine. And I'll show you how I put these together, but with pocket holes you get really nice strong boxes. You don't have to worry about them shifting or racking or anything when you put them in the hole, especially if it's bigger windows. I think it's definitely the better way to go. On these smaller windows, it's not a huge deal. Another good option is to use an air stapler. You could actually use an air nailer too, or a brad nailer, but staples give you a little bit better connection, I think, and make for a little bit stronger joint. So I'll just show you a couple different ways to do this, and you can do whatever way is easiest for you or fits whatever tools you have, I suppose, really. All right guys, so I got kind of working away there. I forgot I was actually going to staple one for you, but pocket holes just work so well. I threw all three together with pocket holes, but you don't need the demonstration on stapling them together. I'll mention too, if you don't have an actual tabletop pocket hole machine like I have, you can easily use one of these too. I had one of these for a long time, which is just a manual, a manual job where you just stick the board. I'll demonstrate. Take a board, you stick it down in there, you lock that, and then you just take a drill, and they have a special Craig bit that you drill down through here, and you can make pocket holes that way too. And like I said, I've done a lot of holes with this thing, but I picked that tabletop one up used, and I just love using it. But anyway, highly recommend if you want to pick one up. I'll leave a link down below for these Craig tools if you're interested in checking them out, but otherwise just nail them together. That works fine too. So let's go ahead and stick them in the holes. Okay, so I got all my jamb extensions built, got them in the house. Now, if you use pocket screws like I showed, these things are pretty stable, so they'll stay nice and square. If you have nailed them together, if you use like brad nails or something, or even staples, it might be a good idea to, I don't have one with me here, but take a square and check the square of your corners just to make sure that everything is, in fact square before you nail it into the window, into the frame. So as you can see, nice fit there. Now, depending on how much extra space you left in your frame, or how much irregularity you have in your, in your framing, you may have to shim these out a little bit. So like this one is tight in the bottom, but I've got a little bit of play up here on top. So I'll go ahead and shim these out here. And again, just trying to make sure that you keep everything as square as possible. That's the goal here. So I'll go ahead and insert a few shims and then we'll nail these in. All right, just make sure that you kind of put some pressure on them, kind of press them up against your window. Bang them in. And I won't do them all right now, but I'll just kind of show you, the finished result there. So nice jamb extensions. Everything comes out nice and clean when you put your So when I go to put my casing on there, I'll get a nice finish like that. I've got to finish this off here, obviously, between those two pieces, but works really well. Like I showed you at the beginning of the video, once you get that done, a little bit of bead of caulk around your trim and everything, and it'll be a really nice professional look. So that's how I build jamb extensions for windows. I do the similar practice for doors, actually. There's different ways you can do this, I'm sure, but this works well for me. So hopefully you guys found that video helpful. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing more home improvement videos like this one, and we'll see you in the next video.